This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me, I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know. Nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, I know it, I know.
All right, everyone, we are live for the S4Y Vlogcast. Pre-production was super fire. I brought extra reinforcements today. I'm gonna pop one open. I have a lot of topics for all of you. It's gonna be real. Berkey and I have been arguing since the wee hours of the morning. What's up, man? How are you, man?
I'm good.
I feel like your face is a little red. Like you've been a little bit.
I've been in the sun, man. Playing some pickleball.
I thought you played at night.
Yeah, night, day, whatever.
See you. First time we have a lot of topics today, man. The highlight of the show is people were like, oh, mom and dad are arguing. When you and I got into a little back and forth. I said I'm usually on your side. We're gonna talk about it.
I don't have sides.
Yeah, you're just.
I'm agnostic.
People like when you take a side.
No, I take sides. I just I err on the side of logic.
Yeah. I'm always for the people though. That's
Sure.
Yeah, I roll with my people. I always got people's back. All right. So, some major topics today. We're gonna talk about Lex. He ends up just like scooping a stadium series, Poker Stars, 90 stacks. Ends up streaming after that 12 hours, more than 12, 13 hours. Gets heads up in another bird, all on stream.
It's a good day.
It's a crazy day. Like he's had some legendary days at this point.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, he's been doing it a long time.
That's true. He's been doing it a long time. But like I guess like I want to highlight Lex, but before that, I want to kind of take a step back and see like the impact of streamers altogether, right?
Okay.
So we're probably, I was taking a guess, maybe like 6 to 7 years into poker streaming as a whole, maybe?
6, I would say, yeah, 2014.
In your opinion, what do you think has been like the general impact?
I don't know. It's tough to say. I probably haven't followed it closely enough long term. I think that it created a subculture of fandom and like a new tier of poker pros that are heavily followed by the masses. Mm-hmm. I think that like there is the hard divide now between the high rollers, the established pros that lean into coaching, and then I guess I don't know what to qualify streamers as because they range so vastly in talent, right? There are some that are just like really good with the stream. There are some that are exceptional poker players who also stream. There are some that fall somewhere in the middle, but I think that they get a stage day in and day out to kind of put their craft on display, whether that's their ability to engage an audience or to win a poker tournament.
So maybe 6 years ago, JCarver like hits the scene, right? He starts with Cake Network, like eating cake, which is like the original stuff, like the original YouTube stuff. I was the first one.
Yeah.
It was like I was the first one there, and at least for me, it was like super engaging, and it got me into like even understanding like why people do certain actions and like pretty much like basic understanding of poker. And now I'm like sitting here like all these years later, and maybe there's other people that look at current streamers for the same reason. And I think it's like a positive event, like simply based on it helps. It's like a little bit of strategy, but it's also just like it keeps poker at the front of your mind. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't know where the line is drawn between it shining a spotlight on the community and there just being like almost fatigue of some sort. But I mean, like, this WSOP is a good example. There's a myriad of streams for people to choose from, and it seems like nobody can get enough. So I guess like that's a pretty good thing, and it seems like it's a pretty great marketing tool for the vast majority of these online poker sites. I honestly feel like the streamers themselves, outside of a few exceptions like JCarver and Lex and maybe a short list of other guys who are inked up, they're probably not getting their just dues, because it's not like esports where they can scale quickly into household names that we all recognize. I can't recall the one guy's name, but he played Fortnite with like Drake and Juju Smith and a few other athletes and all this other stuff. It's just like he blew up out of nowhere. Ninja, yeah. Simply because, he's good at a game. That's not going to happen in poker. You're not going to see a poker streamer with 3 million followers on Twitch.
I think you could do it, Burke.
I don't. I really don't.
I think you're interesting enough. Like, people really like...
I don't think it's about the person.
What do you think it's about?
I think it's about the allure of the task at hand. And I think that poker is too static in its aesthetics. So like, you can watch somebody play Fortnite for an extended period of time because it's a narrative. It's moving towards something. You don't see that narrative progress in a tournament. If you're watching for an hour and it's the mid stage, it's just still the mid stage an hour later and nothing changed.
I personally think there have been streamers like JCarver that have pushed a narrative. I want to play this video for you, just like kind of like a storyline, and then we'll rediscuss that topic, and then potentially see if that could be incorporated once again. So I'm going to play this kind of highlight reel of JCarver, a little bit of a tribute to the OG of streaming, and then we'll rediscuss the topic. So let's play JCarver now.
Hello everybody, welcome to our very first episode of Run It Up. Yeah, look how sad that graph is. That is not a happy graph. Hey, check out this. Oh my god, this is so cool. Watch, ready? Oh my god, look at that. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. The things that we can do here. Oh my god, it's like giving the kid the keys to the car. That's right. I'm wearing pants, boys and girls. Leprechaun pants, no less. Run It Up number 7. Run It Up number 21. Number 34? Is that right? Number 69. Number 100. Wow. I'm here with my good friend, Antonio Esfandiari. Oh, damn it.
You can slap the shit out of
That's right. I've joined forces with the world's largest and greatest online poker site to bring you guys the best streams that we have ever created to date. Mirko, you were right. We did it. We did it. We did it. Pen, Jack, Queen, King, Ace, Royal Flush. We will be defending in the big blind against eulophobia. It's the fear of flutes. Seems like we might as well make the note. Good to know. Wow, amazing.
250D over there.
What a life, Jason Lens. What a life. I feel like I played pretty well, and I'm loving playing tourney poker, which is a great sign that more streams will be coming. See you guys soon. Peace.
He's so happy.
I honestly, like, watching that, it's kind of nostalgic to me. It's like, in a weird way, it's like how when I watched Kobe Bryant, like, back in the day, like, R.I.P. Kobe Bryant, much love, but like, it brought such joy to me, like, watching Kobe, and like similarly, like, watching JCarver. Like, I tuned into run it up number 21, run it up number 22, run it up number 20. I would watch them again, like on replay, like just like watch it. And then like, it's like, oh yeah, he was battling El Guapo today. And it's like, I would play it. And then I would like send El Guapo hand to my friend. And it's like, now it's like, I feel like maybe there's people like that watching you, watching Lex, watching other people. And they just like have this kind of connection. Like there's people on your stream that are there every single day. Angel for you, or he's there every single
for you to envy. I got it finally.
Literally every single day. Every single day. He's start to finish every single day. Talking, like engaging with you. And I don't know, like did you have that connection with like maybe like Barry Bonds or something like that? Like was that person for you?
I mean, it's so different, right? Like with sports, you just get to see them do their thing. You never hear them speak. Like actually hearing Barry Bonds do interviews was like, don't ever meet your heroes kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He was a total prick. And I spent more of my time defending him than I did actually feeling a connection towards him. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like I see JCarver. There's only one JCarver. He's so happy. He's so engaging. He's so, I don't know, man. He just built something that was like really well constructed and reflective of who he is as a person. It's fun. It's jovial. It's engaging. It's community. It's great.
Do you think he had a storyline?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because I guess like I couldn't easily identify it if that's the case. I think he's good at creating kind of like retention mechanisms, like the Bink Bell and the Leprechaun and the Raven, and these things. They're retention mechanisms, right? They're things that you can continually call back.
The Raven was for the cage that he stole from you.
I know, that fucker. That was my goddamn line.
I want you to know that Angel for you to envy is also in the chat today.
Of course. Shout out.
I think that I want to compare then that era. It's an era, because I feel like JCarver's streaming era has come to an end at this point. He's moved on to, try to be an end boss in other arenas. And now we have Lex, right? And I guess I want to play, for those of you that don't follow Lex closely, and I want to play a little bit of like best of Lex, right? And then kind of compare the two and then see where we go from there. So for those of you for those of you listening on Spotify or whatever other platform that potentially might sponsor us later, be sure to like, subscribe, but also understand that we're about to play video. So follow along best as you can. And let's play best of Lex. I don't really know what to do here. So we call. Yes! I'm a little ducky. This is a Fenton stream now. I'm a little ducky. You're doggy. He says no fucking way. Oh, okay. Alright, no, it's fine. You can have aces. Alright. You can have aces. He can have another ace. He can have 3 aces. He can have any fucking thing he wants. Yes! Oh my god, we did it! 2 fucking hands! Yes! 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 Oh my god, yes! Alright, so
I relate a lot more to Lex.
you like more Lex?
No, it's not that I like him more. I relate a lot more to him. It's like there's a huge difference. Like JCarver's streams were super chill and fun, and he was great at the production element and I guess like turning it into almost like a backyard football game of sorts. Like it's a playground, right? Lex is in a super competitive atmosphere. And that's what I feel when I stream. It's just like, you try to downplay it as much as you can, but when you're putting up 5K worth of buy-ins every single day and you're putting it on display over and over and over again, it's like, it's really hard not to dig in deep to the analysis, dig in deep to the results, the responses. It's so hard not to make a hero call and then see a ridiculous hand and not laugh at that person, right? It's not ill-willed. It's not ill-intended to embarrass the other person. It's just like, that's the competitive response. It's like, oh, I'm going to make this outlandish call that I don't necessarily think makes sense, but you sir might be getting a little out of line here, and I'm going to play sheriff. And you see it, and it's just like, yes, that what a fucking joke of a hand. And then the other person might get offended, and there's this whole, I don't know, man. It's not.
I feel like Lex is way more spicy than JCarver. Like the reason people like Lex is because they think he's the realest streamer. You know, over here we're the realest podcast,
Right?
But he's the realest streamer, and I let him have that lane. I think it's okay. But you are trying to go for his lane. I think you're trying to like cut him. Like you're gonna be like, yo, listen, I'm the realest streamer. I tell Guru he's not that good. I tell how it is. Don't come at me. That's it. I'll play this music every fucking day. If you don't like it, kick rocks. Like that's how you are, and I respect it.
Yeah, I'm not intentionally coming after Lex, but that is definitely who I am. Like I'm not one to try to like bend or break to some sort of conformed norm, I guess.
You straight hood. You from the hood. Like
I don't know about that, but
like
it's really hard to stream for hours on end and be disingenuous to yourself. I'm competitive as fuck. I'm going to make comments whenever I see things that I think are out of line. I'm not implying that I'm playing perfectly. I'm sure if we were able to put the other person in front of a camera and have them analyze my play, they'd find a lot to pick apart.
I agree. I do want to break down a little bit of a hand from Lex.
Okay.
It's a famous one. I think it's kind of like people really like this one.
The only hand I know of Lex is where he folds jacks.
All right, well, you're going to know another one.
Okay.
So
he was so excited. He's like, this is what we study for. We fold his hand. And then they both had sevens.
Oh, man. That does hurt.
Yeah.
That does hurt. Yesterday, I was playing, a little bit off topic. And Poppy was at the Venetian. And I wanted to stop by, played this like massive hand versus a guy, and I had top 2. And I make like a huge call on the turn. And then he has like a draw. And he gets there. And he shows. And I just like muck my hand. And 7 people with Poppy behind me are like, what did you have? And I'm like, whatever. And he's like, no, like really, what did you have? And like 5 different times they all asked what I had. And it was like super obvious. Like I either have like a set or top 2. Yeah. But like, it was kind of tilting actually. But I tried to like keep a smile, I was like, I'm just a representative of the people. And I was like, fuck this motherfucker idiot. Thinks I was going to fucking bet fold. My range just fucking nutted on the turn. But I think if I was on stream by myself, I would have been like, this fucking clown. Right.
Because they're just an anonymous screen name who made a questionable play.
Yeah, but there was like this nice guy in front of me. I'm like, you deserve the thousands of dollars I just handed you with your terrible play. I think I was going to fold. All right. So let's play this hand history. Actually, Lex, which was considered new school, versus Doyle, OG of the game, probably one of the secretly richest men in America. Allegedly, don't want to say it because IRS, and I want to kind of like maybe break this down. Like this, a lot of people said like, oh, this is a iffy play by both players maybe. So we'll break it down briefly. And then we'll close the topic of Lex. So. Once again, we're going to play a video. If you're watching on Spotify, maybe you should watch us on YouTube. Let's play the Doyle video.
Just me and you?
Just kidding.
If there's some bets,
It
was favorite to have one of the 2 hands.
If you think he made a good laydown, I'll call.
Yo, Lex used to go hard. I battled with him a lot in live.
9,000.
He was wild.
I just want to find out what Eli had.
Well, just a little gift for you, son.
Yeah.
I swear to 5,000 would walk.
No,
You go hard when you get Doyle to put it in with Queen 7.
5,000 would work.
I just want to call, but like 110.
5,000 would work.
Lex flopped a pair of deuces.
Like I want to call for 11.
Doyle says, hey, I'm still stuck.
17.
My winning streak's on the line. Let me pick up this little pot here.
So flop 1 check. Now Doyle bombs this turn like super polar. 20,500, pretty much like a pot-sized bet on this turn. Doyle has, Lex has bottom pair.
Lex says, maybe he's trying to pick up this little pot here. I got ducks. Let me call and see what happens. Wow, 4 comes out there. 2, 3, 4, 6.
So now the board 4 lines to the 5. Doyle defended from the big. And let's see the sizing he chooses.
Okay.
Doyle is not giving up. 60,000.
Another pot-sized bet.
There it is. He calls.
All right, I want to pause here. Like, Doyle actually has the right combo. Like, Like that was a 7. Like that's the hand he's supposed to bluff. Like obviously he shouldn't really have queen 7, but like having
No,
7
Queen
like
7's fine.
all right, but let's say
But the line sucks.
I mean, if you had 7-8, okay, so if you had 7-8, this is kind of a good combo, right? Like if he had 7-8, like he's repping pretty polar on the turn. The problem is like he reps so polar on the turn. Like it's kind of weird because he's not repping a jack on the turn.
Right.
Like with his sizing.
Yeah. I don't think 7-8 is I mean, okay, fine. But yeah, you're not gonna bet pot on turn. with
That's the
7-8.
problem, yeah. Like you should be repping a jack on the turn more often than like you should be repping a complete range on the turn. Like
Right.
jack plus sets plus
Right.
straights. And then on the river, if you want to polarize to like a 5 or air, that's fine. But like he goes pot, like repping not
It's a deuce.
yeah.
Or a 3 rather.
Just
the
a
three.
5, right? A straight.
Well, 3 was trips on turn. On turn, 5-4 was a straight and 3s were trips. The river one lined.
The turn's a jack.
Oh, that's a jack?
Yeah.
I thought that was a 3. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Oh, he had a spade draw on the turn, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like on the turn, you should be repping like a more complete range.
Yeah,
including
yeah,
the jack,
Yeah.
as well as sets or
Right.
stuff. And then on the river, he can pull out. This is why I said like 7-8, and like it's probably the right combo on the river. All right, so Lex goes on to say like this was a huge call at the time. Like,
Sure.
Like it's like yo, he just got called with it.
Yeah,
First
you
of all,
opened
he had
9 deuce suited in the one.
First
hole.
of all, he like the fact that you said the one hole points to the fact of how old this is.
Yeah.
Like like so he opened the like 9 deuce under the gun / the one hole. Doyle splashes with him and he says, I'm gonna give you some action, son. And Lex goes on to say, so this after this ends, they interview Lex. And he says like Doyle doesn't really play like that anymore. Like long ball, big bet poker like in the book.
Yeah.
Right. And then he's so when he's saying when he takes this, obviously he didn't use the terminology. When he takes this polarizing sizing, it's just like he doesn't do this with, he's not balanced. It's like leaning bluff.
Yeah.
And I thought at the time, like Lex was pretty ahead of his time. Like he is opening pretty wide and then making correct assumptions at a high enough frequency to show a profit. You said he used to go hard. Like explain that a little bit more. Do you think he still goes hard? Do you think that?
Oh, I think
it's
he's
different?
super calculated and studied now. But like I used to play a lot with him between, I guess it would have been like 2008 and 2011. We played a lot of like 510 to 2550 uncapped at the win. And, we sat crazy deep. We were the laggiest guys in the game. He was a fucking maniac. Like that was a perfect reflection of like how he would play uncapped games. And at that time, that was by far the most profitable style. I don't even think it was remotely close. Like aggression just won a lot in an environment where people under-aggressed, over-bluff caught, and almost never bluffed. So like you could literally just pour on aggression until somebody responded aggressively, and then you just quit. You're just like, oh, I guess they have it. And like it would lead to the most aggressive players in the game, not only like showing up with the thinnest value spots you've ever seen, but also just making like the most absurd hero folds, where it's just like, how could you ever fold a set in a scenario where like you're playing 80% of hands and pouring in money fist by fist, right? And it's just like, well, because you've raised me for the first time in 3 weeks, so you probably have a better hand. And poker was that easy back then.
You said that was the most profitable style back then. What do you think the most profitable style is now then?
I think it's like calculated aggression. I mean, people still don't understand the bluffing lens of the game very well. They still don't understand the bluff catching lens as a byproduct of that very well. So people as a whole, as a collective, the community is still very poor at understanding decisions driven through EV. A good example of this is I went on a rant yesterday where I made a hero call with third pair for like a big chunk of my stack, but it was quarter pot on the river. And I had ace-7 on 8-7, or sorry, on 9-8x 7x. And it went small bet, small bet, small bet.
Yeah.
By the original pre-flop raiser. And I was like, this line doesn't make any sense. Like it doesn't associate itself with overpairs. It doesn't really associate itself with like top pair. By the time we arrive at river, a lot of these hands should want to check. It doesn't make that much sense with like 5-6 or Jack 10, but it could make sense if like this person perceives me as being too weak to call a bigger bet. I get it, like whatever. At the end of the day, I unblock all of the potential bluffs because I don't have a Jack, a 10, a 5, or a 6 in my hand, or a queen, and I block bottom set or middle set, whatever. So for those reasons, like whatever, I'm just getting too good of a price. I have to call, and I was wrong. Like wrong. She had a set, and it's just like okay, like no big deal. And I got land basted where it's like it's so obvious. Like she just has the nuts there all the time. Yada yada yada. Yada. It's like. Yeah, but like she only has to not have the nuts 1 in 4 times, and it's fine, right? It's like people just have a very large disconnect between the gradient spectrum that is pot odds and the binary result of win or lose.
Let's talk about that. Because I think that it's important to touch like all the bases, right? So I think. I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. I think you're right. But I think that there's people that just say like, I'm just getting a really good price and I have a hand, like, so I call. Like, I think that's a little bit dangerous though, because like there are people, like as an exploitative player, there are just like at times where you should just make the fold, even getting the right price, because people are not bluffing at the frequency that the price being laid.
Yeah, but those times are only when you can say that with certainty.
Don't you like? Okay. As an elite player, exploitative elite player, do you think that there are times you can say that? Like you could just say that. Like I can
Online, not often.
Okay.
But I mean, sure, there will be portions of the tree that you stumble down where the line that they took allows them to arrive at a decision point with no bluffs.
Mm-hmm.
I felt this was the opposite.
Right.
I felt that the line that she took, or he, or whatever, was kind of the opposite. It was difficult to find value that would choose these sizes.
For sure.
So it's like, I don't know what the fuck is happening here, and I don't know what kind of hand I'm going to get shown. My hand wouldn't be a hand that would call a reasonable size bet, but given the thing that's being presented to me right now, what's the difference? So I basically made the argument. The board was 9-8x 7x, and I said if I had called with ace 9, you all would think it was a cooler. Mm-hmm. But because I called with ace 7, you all think I'm an idiot. And the hands are precisely the same.
Because you don't think
she's just not going to have a 9.
She's not going to have a 9.
Right.
For the same line.
Right.
Because she wouldn't bet third pot on the turn with a naked 9 because she would probably protect her hand.
Or even an overpair at that point. It's
right.
2 spades. It's
it's pretty wet
board straightening. Yeah. And it's just like, and even if you do somehow arrive at a small bet on the turn, you're not going to small bet thinly for value. I would have to think this person is insanely good to choose a 1-pair hand that could just get check shoved.
So you're landing on the river, assuming that she's actually pretty polar, but choosing the wrong and correct sizing, which actually lets you to call. So like when she chooses the small bet on the turn, most of her hands are not incentivized to choose that size. That of which would likely choose the bigger size, unless she has a lock. Right. So when we land on the river, she's actually pretty polar. You block a set. She's repping a polar range. You don't have to worry about like 9x or whatever. So you're getting a good price. So now you call. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're breaking it down.
And the thing is that it's like ace 9 is a no-brainer call.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like if ace 9 is a no-brainer call and the properties between ace 7 and ace 9 in this spot really don't matter, then I'm just going to lean into the price because I don't know enough to make an educated decision the other way.
So I want to play something where people do actually speak their thoughts out loud. And then I'm going to ask you if we're going to see a resurgence of this kind of product. So I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm not going to tell the people what it is. I'm just going to play a moment in time of this product. And if you're watching on... Why do I keep saying if you're watching? They're always listening. If you're listening on Spotify, understand I'm about to play a video. Let's play POL now.
I'm never folding this hand. I think this is a pretty strong flop in my hand. I have backdoor outs and an open-ended straight draw. I'm almost 100% certain he's going to continuation bet, but I guess we'll see. It's not the greatest board for my defend range, so but I'm going to let him keep leading the way.
So I am going to check back.
It's a good check back.
So he's smarter than I thought, and he decided to check. But I think this is a really good card for me to bet. So I'm going to bet. I'm going to bet a little more than pot.
Yeah.
115. I like this bet a lot, whatever she has. I just had one of my few hands that I can't bet on this flop.
That's well played. By both.
Just like I thought, folded like a little bitch.
All right, so
Kelly's ruthless.
that is our flagship product, Poker Out Loud. That was season 2. As you saw, Kelly Minkin and Jordan Young were both there battling out, and I thought Kelly played that hand exceptionally well. Flop went, she defended the big blind. Flop went check. She overbets the turn, ripping she could pretty much overbet the turn with any 10 or better there.
Yeah.
So pretty good in that situation. The question I get all the time, I went down to the strip. They were like, when is Poker Out Loud coming out? Or when is Poker Out Loud coming out? I was wearing my headphones. And they're like, okay, are you going to talk to me while you wear your headphones? And I was like, I should wear a fucking full mask.
I thought you were for the people.
Well, yeah, but like I'm at work. I'm at a different work.
Oh, so you're not for the people when it inconveniences you.
You know, I've done Poker Out Loud in real life.
No.
I've done it in real life, like it for real money. So I'm super for the people. Don't fucking question me, man. Listen, I've had my headphones on, and I said I will say everything about the hand without mentioning my hand, and you still won't know my hand. And all I did was talk in range versus range. That was a real test of my knowledge. I was like, okay, I should be betting this for a third pot with my entire range. If the turn comes this, and this, I will be taking this action. The turn came, and I would be like, okay, well, I'm going to be repping. I'm going to use this sizing with this section of my range and this section of my range. And they were like, yo, I don't, like, I'm going to take your course, bro. And I was like, yeah, that's right, bro. At that time, it was $125.
Right.
Now I'm not doing that for $10, bro. I'm telling you right now. I ain't going down to the strip and telling you my thought process for $9.99. You're going to have to pay me my pot, and then I'll tell you.
Well, there's your answer then.
They're going to pay my pot.
We'll resurge Poker Out Loud when COVID ends and we can rescale the poker site or the TV site rather back to normal, releasing content, pretty close to daily.
I'm not gonna let you off the hook that easy. I'm gonna play you a competitive product, and I want both the people to say, which one they like more, and then also I want to talk about the differences, and then if maybe we could potentially go the other route, and see what happens. So let's play Run It Once Elite and get a little bit of glimpse of their product. And I'm sure that they wouldn't mind. We're pushing I don't push people's product here, but I like Phil Goffon. He's done us some favors, and we're good people. They just had a baby. I want to help them out. So let's play Run It Once Elite.
And I think there's a fine hand to add to our limp folding range.
Ace-7 offsuit still, I think, not quite strong enough for a raise. Maybe Ace-8, certainly Ace-9, I think, goes into my raising range against his limps. So far, Tunis has not open-raised the small blind, so I'm going to assume that he's limping his full continuing range until kind of proven otherwise.
Okay. So, Run It Once plays
it was good.
A 6-handed match online, and they pretty much get like some of their best pros, and they play the 6-handed match online. They all are able to speak about their decisions, and it gets edited a bit to just make sure that the people that are relevant to talk are talking at the right time, et cetera, et cetera. Very similar. It's like the online version of Poker Out Loud without the.
They did it first.
Yeah.
I remember the first time. I think they called it like pros versus pros or
Yeah,
something.
pros. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I believe that's
It
true.
was like a sit and go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a tournament version.
Yeah, yeah.
So now this is the cash game version. It's Run It Once Elite, but on the site is called Golf on Friends.
Okay.
What's the difference? Is pitch me why I should like Poker Out Loud more.
It's live.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same, but it's very, very different. I think that like aesthetically, it's a lot more from an entertainment standpoint. It's a lot more fascinating to watch a live poker game play out with the full production. I think that like the online version of this is good, but it's a lot more stringent to, I guess, the learning mechanisms. And the other thing is that like when you're playing online, your decision time is so reduced because of time bank. So the ability to talk through spots is tremendously hedged. And it's going to be incredibly difficult for them to actually touch upon all the major points that they need to in a hand. So you're just going to get a lot more broad stroke type stuff where we can dig in deep. Like there are often points where we're talking for like 3 minutes at a time.
There's been hands on. So let's discuss a little more. So there's been some of the complaints of Poker Out Loud are that the hands take too long. Like the viewers are like, this is like a 20-minute, like 25-minute hand.
Yeah.
Do you think that's something that should change, or do you think that people should just enjoy the fact that people are airing out their thoughts in full, or should it be more of a viewer friendly? I guess
it is viewer friendly. You just have to see it through the lens of which it is. It's cinematographic, right? Like you're getting the full story from start to finish. It's not about seeing 100 hands. It's about seeing one hand go through the entire process of storytelling, right? You go from the beginning to the crescendo all the way back to the end, and you deal with the fact that you're getting nuggets of knowledge along the way. So the reason that it's built the way that it's built is to cater to all types of viewers. You can watch it strictly for entertainment and see now a well-produced storytelling version of a hand playing from start to finish. You could watch it from a strategic standpoint, and you're certainly not going to want to parse down all of the strategy that each individual is giving away. And then you can watch it for like something in between. And yeah, sometimes it goes a little long, but I think for the most part, we've done a pretty good job of casting people that are good at conveying their thoughts. There have been a handful of examples where I think maybe we might have missed the mark a little bit. But in a general sense, of the like maybe 20 people who have played, I would say there's only like one or two that kind of like stepped out. And if I were watching, I would want to fast forward the hands that they were in.
Hey, yo.
I didn't say it wasn't you.
I don't think it might have been me. It might have been me. You know, but then why am I all the seasons? That's right.
You're a graceful loser.
I've won some seasons, bro. I've won 2 seasons.
Every even season.
It's only been 4 seasons, baby. I'm batting 500. I'll get a $30 million contract if I was batting 500. There's a lot of you that wish you were batting 500 back in the Aria.
It's true.
What's the future? What's the future of Poker Out Loud? I feel like there's a lot of ways it can go. We can we could step into Phil Goffon's lane real easy and be like, yo, that's way cheaper to produce, bro. Like
Yeah.
We could do that. We can, we did have the student season, which was released on YouTube. If you all haven't watched it, just Google. YouTube Google. The YouTube search is such a popular search. They should have their own search name.
They do. It's called YouTube.
YouTube search. It's not the same.
I don't think you get it. YouTube is just a search engine that hosts videos. So it is Google.
They feel bigger than that.
Bigger than Google?
No, they feel like they're bigger than a search engine.
Right. Okay. So you know how Google is a search engine?
I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, YouTube is a video search engine.
Yeah, I get it.
It's also a hosting platform.
They're bigger. They're so big. Like it's just like they're not a search engine. You could do live streams.
Are you saying that Google's not a search engine?
Google's just like a monopoly on everything. Like, if you guys want to sponsor us, Google, we'll also bring you a podcast. You can add that to your plethora of things you offer, like video search engines and what else do they offer? Phones and TVs and Google TV and like, god damn, Google Play.
Mm-hmm.
What else are they gonna be into? The swinger business. I thought I was gonna bring it up. You thought I was gonna bring it up. All right. Let's finish that topic though. So the future, we've kind of like thrown around some names. Chance, Foxen, Chrissy, of course, and then we had the student version. Like, what's the future of Poker Out Loud? I feel like it could go in a different way. Like, we can do some online. What do you think the people want to see?
I'm not entirely sure. I know what I have planned out. I want to do a vlogger edition for YouTube that we put out.
Name me some people you want.
I have soft commits from Nimi, Jamin, Marley, Raising the Nuts, Trevor Savage, Johnny, and there's one that I'm forgetting, and I'm sure I'm gonna be an asshole for not remembering.
Let's try to figure it out. So who's out there? Let's get my man Joey DeMush. Let's get him.
Yeah, it could be Joey, or sorry, not Joey. DePaulo. I had DePaulo on the list, but I hadn't asked him yet. So anyway, we definitely have 6 for that. I want to do. I want to try to like do a collab with other training sites. Get 6 coaches to play. I think that would be really good.
Versus us.
Well, yeah. So like 4 coaches and you and I.
Let's name them. Who you want? Phil Galfon?
Galfon would be great.
Galfon would be great, but he doesn't play No Limit. He'll probably send one of his No Limit guys to try to beat him.
That's fine.
He'll be like,
he can send Sauce.
He'll be like, I'll send you Sauce, and I'm gonna be like, God damn, bro, you don't got anybody else. Like you want to bring us? Why don't you bring us someone that's not Sauce?
He said Kruk. I like Kruk a lot.
Kruk is good. Kruk is chill. Is also not Sauce.
That's true.
You know, it's like I don't know. Like Sauce has this allure to me where it's like, I don't want to play Sauce, man. Like I'll play anybody.
Why? Who cares? Like it's not like we're playing massive stakes. I think it's like really good. I think
that's fair.
Rabbit Chow would be great too. Like
Kevin Rabbit Chow's a boss. Like that dude's good.
I played with him in LAPC. He did really well. I didn't know it was him for a long time. I like was pretty sure it was him, but I kept convincing myself he wouldn't be playing a 10K in LA because like as far as I knew, he didn't really play live events all that much. And then I think he went on to like finish inside the final 2 tables.
Yeah, he's good. He's a very good poker mind. Probably like Phil says that he watches Kevin for like when he wants to learn about theory.
Yeah,
which is a really good statement. You know.
Yeah.
I watch you.
Thanks.
When I want to learn about theory, and you watch me when I want to learn about women. I think that's a really good trade.
Sure.
I think you've done well in that, and I've done well in mine.
Sure.
So student edition is already out.
Yep.
So the people can watch that on YouTube right now. I believe it's a pretty long season.
I think it's 10 episodes, maybe 12.
And that was a situation where it was like your team versus my team.
We didn't do well.
I did well.
Mm-hmm.
My team annihilated your team.
Yeah.
And I knew that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Was it because I got Fausto?
He
didn't get that out of line. Lukic was the one who got out of line. I thought Lukic was going to be my pick to click.
Yeah, well,
he just started spazzing.
He doesn't know what to do with ace 9 in the small blind.
He was coming after you, man.
And I have 6 bet on with 10, so I never do that. But I was like, no. You don't have a calling range in the small blind, and that's gonna give you too many bluffs.
That's true.
And that means that my hand is value.
Yep.
So I'm all in. And he's like, oh God, no. That happens, man. You guys got to develop multiple strategies. If you're out there, you got to listen. You can't have a transparent strategy. You probably should have a calling range and a 3-bet range in the small blind. If you only have a 3-bet range, then you probably don't have really good hands. In the 3, every hand is 3-bet. What are you going to do with ace 8 suited and king queen suited and king queen offsuit and 7s and ace deuce suited and 6s and ace queen offsuit? All these hands, you're going to 3-bet all of them? I'm just going to 4-bet. And then what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like flatting the small blind, Berk? Or what's your strategy there?
I flat a lot from the small. I definitely flat way more from the small blind than conventional wisdom allows. But most of the games I'm playing are really deep. So I think that keeping the SPR great when you're sacrificing position is incentivized.
I think might give away a little nugget of it. Let me take a sip of this before I gotta really convince myself.
Is that hard seltzer?
5%,
a little boozy in it.
Contains alcohol with hints of wild berry.
Not contains wild berry with hints of alcohol.
Yeah. You know.
This is your version of White Claw.
Whoa. This is
White Claw Wednesday.
I was told that this is like White Claw, but
sophisticated,
but like a little bit like more new school, like
right, classic.
Like like this was like a little bit not White Claw, like it's like the cooler White Claw. You know how there's like Grey Goose and then there's Ciroc.
Yeah,
this is like Ciroc.
Oh, okay, right.
Shout out to Ciroc. If they want to sponsor this show, I'll drink that shit here all day. You know? I even put Diddy in the background. You know, I'll replace Poppy. You know, put Diddy out there. You know, my man Biggie out there too with the big chains. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
What do you think about the big chains?
I'm not into it, man.
You don't like big chains?
No, I've never been a necklace guy. I had a gold chain when I was a kid with my number on it, but that was about it.
You know, I was gonna have the Paulo on the show today, but maybe we'll have him next week. I don't know if I want to give a preview of the gold chains. I think I might do it. I might bring it back next week too. You know, because my man out there, Derek, he worked really hard on this video with the gold chains. You know what I'm saying? And I think I might rock a gold chain next week. You know, my mom gave me a gold chain. It was a Cuban link. I think I might do it, bro. So in honor of that, they're gonna pull off the gold chain. This is unprecedented territory. It's happening on the Vlogcast today. This video was not scheduled to be on today's Vlogcast, but I will give you a preview of this video for next week. And let's play the gold chains. Let's go.
Hi, Mr. Unger. Hello, Ryan. How can I help you?
Parkour! Fucking God. Oh my fucking God, yo. Oh my fucking God, bro. Oh my fucking God, bro! Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! I'm a legend! Sorry!
Yo, gold chains, bro. We out here, bro. I think
a thick ass chain, man.
I think it should be a thing now, bro. I think you should go on your stream with a chain, bro. No. I think, all right.
I get enough shit for wearing my hat backwards every single stream. This guy has to be like 75 and just like hates youth. He's like, turn your hat around. Why?
What's wrong with the hat, bro? Like, you look nice.
They love to give me shit. When I say they, I mean literally one or two guys every single week. If you turn your hat around, you'll run a little bit better. Like, why? Because white people wear their hat forward? Like, what are we talking about
here?
Yo,
why you gotta go there?
Because that seems to be the implication. Like, when old people say, like, pull up your pants or turn your hat around or whatever the case may be, it's always like, don't you fall into that hip-hop culture.
Oh, shit.
No, like,
I'm with you, man. I told you from the hood. I started this podcast with you from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, you from the hood. You know how much, no matter how much money you make, Berk, no matter where you live, can't take the hood out of you. You know what I'm saying? You grew up fucking eating ketchup. Like,
I don't know if trailer park trash is the same as hood, but shit.
I was in the hood, man. Like, I was in a gang called 88th Street.
What does that mean?
Exactly what it means. I was in a gang called 88th Street. My mom didn't know about that. My mom can't listen to this podcast.
And you were doing what?
Yo, we were fucking
stealing cigarettes.
We used to fight versus the gang on 60th Street. 60th Street, yo, that gang was real. They were on fucking gangland, bro. I was in the real shit, bro. I was in real shit. You don't know my past, bro. I was in real shit.
Did you get jumped in?
Nah, we didn't do that. We used to. Should I even say it?
I don't know, man. You're in unprecedented territory. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about right now.
I don't want to say how we usually get in those gangs, but if you want to know more about gang life, I'll be at the strip. You guys can talk to me. But that's my past life, Berk. You know, you don't eat ketchup no more.
Sometimes I like ketchup.
You like ketchup with burgers. You're not eating ketchup raw with fucking slice of bread.
Ketchup sandwiches are fucking good.
And I ain't walking down a 60th Street with machetes. You know what I'm saying?
You were in the past?
How's it been 10 years?
You own a machete?
What's the statute of limitation?
I don't know. You were a youth. I'm sure you were fine.
I don't know.
Can't be tried as an adult.
It was crazy out there, man. It was crazy out there. We you know, if you guys want to watch Gangland, we were on there, man. That's all I'm saying. Allegedly. I don't know if I was in the gang. I don't want to be incriminated about anything that's used to happen. Anyway, moving on. I don't want to. This show got out of hand. You guys need.
I got a turbo to play, man. Get to the next topic. Come on.
All right. You made a tweet about my man Ginge Poker. Said he was a pretty nice guy.
I like Ginge a lot.
Yeah, you I feel like you found him because of me, and then you take credit.
I don't know if it was because of you. It was just on my YouTube page.
Yeah, because I searched it.
Probably.
Because I searched it.
Yeah, probably.
And he was on there. I watched his videos too. I thought it was really good. I wasn't trying to promote him or anything, but you were like, yo, this guy's really good.
Why not?
You're right. I just don't really like promoting people unless they pay me. Unless you an alcoholic company, then maybe we can talk. So you put out this, I want to talk about just like poker coaching on YouTube as a whole. Okay. So let's just kind of play like all the people that are on YouTube first. So I'm going to play a little bit. I'm going to play a little clip of all the people on YouTube right now.
Okay.
That have videos related to poker coaching at all, right? And some of the best ones. Like I didn't get the guy from the Orleans that like made a little vlog or whatever. I got like, you know, legit guys. So let's play just like a little bit of a montage of that. So we got BBZ. They got some videos out there.
Ace King again. That's what we do.
Lex, which is debatable.
What's up, guys? Today
just
we're going to be doing
poker
something
coaching.
completely new. I have something really cool that I'm really, really excited about, and no kidding, because I got coached by one of the best players in the world, Mr. Ben CB.
Hello, everyone.
John Little.
Good morning, good morning. Can you all hear me? Test, test, test. My name is Jonathan Little. We're going to be playing some No Limit Texas style today.
Hey, yo.
You can't be like all loosey-goosey having a sandwich, eating on your phone. Woohoo, baby, I love it. There's three basic characteristics that make an elite poker player.
Oh, man.
All right, so those are a little bit, you know, obviously Lex was, he was teamed up with Ben CB, who has a little bit of content on there. John Little, BBZ, which there's other ones like Bluff the Spot. They have some stuff there. Obviously, they're like private companies, but they have some content on there.
Yep.
And then there's other people similar to Ginge, that are just like kind of putting things out there for similar to vloggers. That's like a little bit like undefined as to what their agenda is, but they just want to be known, right? So I want to play one more.
Okay.
So for those of you, of course, I know you guys hear me say this a lot, but like, you know, there's people that watch on other platforms. So if you're listening to this on Spotify, I hope you understand that I'm about to play a clip. And I hope you also understand that you can view our beautiful faces on YouTube every Wednesday. So I'm going to play one more clip. And you're going to be a fan of this. They did a little bit of a review about something that we already spoke about today.
Okay.
So let's play Finding Equilibrium.
They just don't have enough showdown value, so this card kind of sets him up for a two-barrel. I'm certainly going to start with a check, and depending on if he overbets or not, I'll be check calling 2 or just check smashing through.
The turn is the 7 of hearts, and Berkey checks, recognizing that this card gives Nick's pre-flop flatting range to the theoretical advantage, with the goal of ultimately inducing a bet. And we see that this check is consistent with the solver strategy that continues betting with its strongest hands and some draws, but is primarily checking its top pair holdings even with the flush draw. and it is quite common for the solver to play more passively when out of position and deeper stacked, as it will oftentimes shift into bluff catching mode even with relatively strong holdings.
All right. So Finding Equilibrium does a review on one of the hands you played, one of the greatest hands I've ever seen you play, actually, and I've seen you play a lot of hands. And I thought it was really good. His channel's actually kind of died down. Like it just like doesn't release any more content pretty much. I think he released something called the GTO Blueprint at some point, and then it just kind of stopped. Like it was kind of, I don't want to say it was a money grab, whatever, but like, you know, like he made this money probably from that product and then just said like, I'm not making any more YouTube content, at least not yet.
I know he was working on a product. I didn't know he actually got to the point of promoting one.
Yeah, it was called GTO Blueprint, and maybe he should send me a referral code because like I mentioned that on this podcast. Just saying.
Yeah, I like his stuff. I think he does a really good job of analyzing. I think that it's like a tall task to try to even like the fact that he broke that hand down to me is, I mean, it's super entertaining, and I think that there's probably nuggets of like content to take away that's helpful. But it's also like such an impossible task. It was a 3-way pot that was 3-bet. So it was, or
I wasn't 3-bet. I led.
No. I know you led post.
Yeah.
But sorry, it was a single raise pot, right? Yeah. Single raise pot, but then it was 3 ways post where you lead, I raise, and Nick cold calls. Yeah. It's just like, what solver is running this?
Yeah. You need like NASA's machine.
Yeah.
So I want like your overall kind of sentiment of the YouTube poker coaching scene, and like, should people go there for knowledge? It should like what is going on? Like there's like everybody, like I just named 3 people or like 4 people that had like some stuff, and there's more stuff. Like there's infinite poker coaching content. Is it good? Should people like take it with a grain of salt? Is like, what's going on? Like what's that space looking like right now?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a huge platform. Obviously, there are infinite eyeballs. Well, not infinite. I mean, there's a very finite amount of eyeballs. But, you know, there's a lot of curiosity to getting better at this game. It's incredibly complex in nature. And I think that the barrier of entry is very high. But as you come close to breaching it, your learning curve is very sharp. So I think all of these resources like facilitate that. Now, whether it actually improves people to the point where they can break through and rise through that sharp learning curve is a whole nother debate. But I think it's a lot like fitness, right? Where the general populace just doesn't know very much. And so they defer to their favorite expert to kind of guide them. Now, what qualifies an expert is a whole other issue or debate or whatever you want to call it. And I think the community has a lot to say one way or another as far as like who should be trusted and who shouldn't. But the fact of the matter is that right now there is no real rhyme or reason to judging one content creator from the next. So, you know, people are going to have to sift through a whole fuck ton of white noise.
I feel as if the line between content creator and coach is this big.
It's just whether or not you charge. Right?
Yeah. What do you think about that, though? Like, do you like?
Well, I think anybody who's
if
creating
you're on
content,
YouTube,
anybody who's creating content on YouTube is doing it with some purpose in mind, whether it's to monetize through a product or to create a platform that they could potentially leverage later.
So do you think would you say the vloggers are coaches?
No.
Do you think people go to them for coaching though? Like
Maybe.
Do people go to the vloggers to learn?
Possibly. It could just be their introduction to learning, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with any of it. That if that's what you're trying to.
No. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to say like, there's content creators there. Like the YouTube space is noisy, and I'm trying to like
super noisy.
I'm trying to like decipher like what's what. Right.
I think like the best thing that a consumer could do is just ask why this person is releasing this content, and that will lead you down. Like once you understand their motives, you'll understand what interests they have in mind and whether or not it aligns with what you're seeking.
So you're good friends with Jamin or Jamin. So
Jamin, yeah.
We always get that wrong.
I finally stopped.
Yeah. what do you think? Like, so I want to kind of break down like a little bit of the space, because I think it's a noisy space and there's a lot. Like, we have content on there, and are we content creators? Are we coaches? We're both. Jamin is a content creator. Nimi is a content creator who has a hand review thing. Vibes is a content creator who does coaching and staking. Like, what's like, so what is like, what should people be looking for? Is my general, like, I know that's probably a bad question. When people are looking for content on YouTube, when they have all these people, should they be looking for it based on what the creator's agenda is?
Well, I think it should just be whatever their goal in mind is, right? So, like, if their goal is to be entertained, they should be looking for a Marley or a Jamin, or even like, you know, Nimi and Owen and all those guys. They're still putting out content to entertain.
Mm-hmm.
Even we're doing that.
Yeah.
If their goal is to strictly learn, then you want to do more due diligence and you want to, you know, spend some time vetting the source. If your goal is both, then you need to do a little less due diligence, but still vet the source, right? It's like you need to be able to decipher once you dig into something whether or not you're watching it for entertainment value or you're watching it for the learning mechanism of it.
I think a lot of people watch vloggers as their source of coaching.
Maybe, but I don't think that's the intention. I think they watch it because they relate. They view these people as peers that are probably slightly better than them at the game.
So a long time ago, I mean, I don't know if that's true anymore, but most of, like, from what I've heard, and maybe this is wrong, but like, what would you say if most people's consumption of the vlogs mostly ended at the hand history section?
Like, once the hand history started, they turned it off?
Once the hand history started and ended, it's over. Like, they ended off. So they're effectively watching.
They're only watching the hand history.
Right. They're effectively only watching for the analysis of the hand history.
Yeah.
So that's effectively their poker coaching.
Sure.
Do you think that is like?
I think it's super inefficient. I think that there's very little to learn from any one arbitrary hand, or even any one cluster of arbitrary hands. Like, it's just anecdotal. You know, you're not really gaining any sort of 10,000 foot view. All you're hearing is, and most of the vloggers, when they're going through hand histories, are really just recalling the action. They're not even like digging into strategy.
Not much. Very
Right.
surface.
Yeah, at best. So, like, it's really more just like recalling the action and then justifying whatever took place. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a noisy space, man. I feel like everyone's trying to do something and it's kind of weird.
But I think the same thing's happening from like the solver mechanism standpoint. If you look at, like, I'm not going to start naming names because it just turns into this, it turns into a Reddit thread. But I think that there are a handful of people who just like take spots, very similar, very anecdotal spots, and they put it through a solve and they say, okay, that's the strategy.
Yeah.
And like, that's not saying anything either. You know, you just don't learn very much from isolated incidents, especially where the parameter, the greatest takeaway in most instances when you're running a solve is how you arrived at the parameters. That's going to tell you more than enough for what you need to know of what your holistic strategy should look like, right? So the more dialed in you are to being able to curate parameters, the more confident you're going to be able to exploitatively say, I should counter with X, Y, and Z. When you have zero confidence over the parameters whatsoever, now you have to be analyzing the generic. And when you're analyzing the generic, that's fine, but you now need to know how to apply it to the specific.
Yeah.
And that becomes very hard.
That's the hard part. The
Right.
hard part is learning the G2 approximation and then being able to like be in game and then move away, you know?
Yeah, I was talking to Conrad about this yesterday. I was saying, like, you know, I don't think you're spending enough time working on your game. Like, you're not treating this like you're a professional poker player because you're putting all of your hours into grinding, thinking that that's going to lead to a result. And he's like, I spent 15 hours studying this week. I go, what did you study? He goes, range converter. I go, okay, so you looked at a bunch of formations and you looked at a bunch of different stack sizes, and then you looked at what hands are supposed to do what. He goes, yeah. I go, what did you learn? He goes, nothing. I go, of course not.
Yeah,
why would you bother studying that? You could just have it up.
He also got it wrong. Like I was there. I was there and he 3-bet like king queen off from the big blind at like 300 big blinds deep. I'm like, you don't do that.
Well, that wasn't what he was studying. He was studying MTT.
Ah.
But it's just like, what's the purpose of that? Like, distilling that into memory when you could literally just have it up on a side monitor is irrelevant. You're not learning anything. You're memorizing something. You know, this isn't your multiplication tables. And also the purpose of memorizing the multiplication tables is to then be able to extrapolate it out.
Yeah.
So if you can memorize up to 10 times 10, you can then extrapolate that out by adding a 0.
Yeah, I always had trouble with the 12. The 12 was hard. Like the 12 times 13, like those were like, come on, man. Like it has to end at 10.
Well, all right. So like that's the thing. This is like what Common Core that a lot of people have pushback against and things like that. But it's about learning how to problem solve realistically, right? So if you know what 12 times 12 is, 144, you know what 12 times 13 is because you can just add 12. Right.
Yeah.
People don't think that way.
Yeah.
Right. So like it gets lost. And whenever that becomes the case, now there's no extrapolation. Now it's literally, I only memorized 12 times 12, so I don't know what 12 times 13 is. And it becomes problematic. And I think it's the exact same in these situations. It's like, it's not studying to look over a bunch of different spots and start to understand where the line of demarcation is between plus EV and negative EV plays. What's important is to understand why King 10 is plus EV in this spot and King 9 is negative EV. And if you don't, then you didn't actually learn anything.
People in the chat want to give me some multiplication cards.
Flashcards.
Bro, I know how much alcohol percentage is in this. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you've grown, Burke. I feel like you've grown. Like now you're not calling people out. You're like, I'm not gonna do it because it's gonna turn into a Reddit thread. The other day,
I don't want somebody making a goddamn rap about me again.
The other day,
call me fucking Big Bird on Sesame Street and shit.
You tweeted.
He knows who he is.
You tweeted. I'm not gonna say the hand history because then you all can't take it. You know, you were like, you played some hand, and you were like, I got lucky. I felt like gambling. I got lucky, and people were like, hand history, and you were like, nah, not gonna give it to you.
Yeah,
because
Twitter, not a safe space.
You guys can't take it. You if I tell you the hand history,
right? If I start with, I played a hand very badly. I wanted to gamble, and I won a 16K pot, and then I give the hand history, I'm gonna get a thread full of critiques of why the hand's bad.
Yeah, even if you say I want.
Even if I started with I played a hand bad and wanted to gamble.
Yeah, and then I should get in there and be like, I also saw all you motherfuckers at the baccarat table. What about that? What about that? What's that for plus EV?
Right.
I saw you guys at the Aria playing baccarat, right next to the lemongrass when I was chilling with Shorty.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I have a lot of stories, man. I need to keep a diary. That's what I need to do. I want to show. To end the show, I want to end the show showcasing a hand that you actually played very well. And people always kind of remind me of it. And I think you put this poor guy in a coffin.
Okay.
And you're welcome to walk through it to end the show. If not, we'll just end the show. But for those of you watching, we're going to play a video. And we're not going to come back on camera. The show's going to be over after this. But I hope you all enjoy this video of Berkey playing a bomb pot. God damn.
I like bomb pots.
I'm still learning bomb pots. You need a bomb pot strategy video.
Jack has one.
No, you need one. He's probably played one. You've played many. Especially you. Not many people have played 100K bomb pots. Okay?
This is a 100K pot?
Maybe. Let's walk through it. Let's walk through it. Let's play this hand. Berkey plays a bomb pot. Berkey, you probably should stay here, walk us through your thought process, and let's play this hand. And I hope you all enjoyed the show. If you like, subscribe. That'll help us out, man. Leave a comment below after the video's over. Let us know your favorite part. Let us know what kind of... Send me some drinks. I'll drink whatever you guys want. As long as it's...
If you want my analysis on the hand, S4Y TV.
Yeah.
It's on High Stakes Hand Review.
$9.99. Temporary. I'm fighting hard to bring it back up. But Berkey, he's a man of the people. He's out here telling me like, Chin, we can't always be corporate. And if you want to know more about our arguments, you can go on our Twitter page. Not going to be always talked about on. I know you guys are waiting for the rake shit. I know you guys are waiting for it. You saw it on Twitter, me and him going back and forth. We're friends, man. We're not going to talk about it on air. Sometimes you don't air your dirty laundry. You heard?
We already talked about it 3 weeks ago.
We already talked about it 3 weeks ago. That's what Berkey says. Maybe I changed my mind. Maybe I like the apps. Maybe I like alcohol. Maybe I like the swinger club. I don't know what's going on. I know we're going to play this deuces hand, and we're going to talk about it. Thank you for watching. And keep watching. I want to talk about this hand. Let's play it.
The bomb pot.
This is your typical $500 bomb pot. Everybody throws in 500.
I've never played a bomb pot before in my life. You play a lot of bomb pots?
No.
No?
I played one earlier this weekend.
Oh.
I'm not good at them.
Bottom set for Matt here. On a draw, heavy board, potentially with a 9-10.
So what are you thinking right now? You spicy. You're like, ooh, bottom set.
Oh no, didn't get checked through. What did it look like I got checked through?
So you bet 1,400.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, it was like.
That usually means we're gonna see another card.
Right.
But yeah, checks the Berkey, and Berkey bets here. 4,000 in the middle. So sick. It looks like he bets 1,400. And Jason does have an open-ended straight draw here. He's probably gonna continue.
Jungle.
And Jungle called as well.
With the gutter.
And it's gonna be some interesting turns. Berkey does not want to see it along the middle of the board.
I've never played a bomb.
7 or a jack's really bad. 8 does bring in Queen Jack. 8,200 here. Effective stacks roughly 40k. And Berkey checks back. Gonna have to dodge some rivers, and that's a good river for him.
You're gonna need a good amount of equity just to fight. Yeah.
Jason looks like he's thinking about bluffing here.
Yeah, I don't know if he would does have a pair, or maybe if he thought his pair didn't show down, maybe he would bet.
We're gonna come back.
Berkey now.
Bet 5,500.
5,500, and now both players kind of have a candidate to go for a check raise. And Jungle folds.
Have you run much math on bomb pots?
I am the math.
I am the math.
Transcended math.
That was a great answer. I am the math.
Jungle Man is the math.
Learn the math. Then you
Jason's thinking about it, man. Jason,
you become the math.
Yeah.
So it's the logical progression.
Did Jason ever just call here?
I don't think so. I think he's really thinking about raising.
All in?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All in. Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
it felt that was a possibility.
Wow. Sick test. I've never seen such a sick test live, actually. Considering like actual
Tough spot for Berkey.
Wow.
But
that's a fucking sick test right there.
Yo, Jungle is so drunk. He was like 6 Long Islands deep.
I think Berkey's gonna call here.
I'm not gonna be drinking.
Poor Jason, man. There's nothing worse than like not having a ton of live experience and then
I think
people
he's gonna call
being like super joking while you're making a 40k bluff. It's just like he's just like his facial tics are just that of someone who's super uncomfortable.
I was like, it looks like it. Yeah. It looks like he has about 43.
I mean, I was always calling anyway, but it's really unfortunate for him that.
Yeah, hit him with that fast forward. Berkey already knows what he's gonna do.
No, I was gonna say Jungle. They should, right? I think Jungle. I'm so envious of it.
It's a tough spot, Berk. It's a lot of money.
I was only tanking to solidify live reads. Like I basically just wanted to ensure that once I called, the reads I was making were aligned. So if I was wrong, then
Nice
as I
call by
continue to play
Berkey.
later, I would know that those don't mean anything.
$95,000 pot Matt's way.
My favorite part of the video is about to come up. I think.
Goes Matt's way. Almost.
I'm gonna have Berkey coach me in bomb pots.
Almost makes the comeback here. Only stuck now a little bit of money.
Yeah, we're only stuck roughly 10K.
Yeah.
It's a big pot for you. You were stuck like 60.
Yeah.
Big hand
Nice.
for Berkey. I was gonna say it might be hard for Matt to get unstuck here, but what a great
This
call
is
by him.
this is my favorite part. Jason goes immediately for the ice. That's it.
Wow.
He goes straight for
The Long Island.
the Long Island.
Now he has a Long Island as well. Oh, this is great. Jason.
Jason, you have to go, man. Kudos to Jason, man. Yo, I got you, man. I know the feeling. I know what it feels like, man. Yesterday, I said this story earlier. You know, I made a sick call. The dude's like, "What you got? What you got?" I'm like, "Bro, take my money, bro." This is a good podcast, man.
Sure.
You why you say sure? Like sure. Sure. Like, no, it's fucking good. It was fucking good. There was a lot of topics. People were found it entertaining. People in the comments were like, "Yo, you guys are the fucking best, man. I'm never going to another podcast. Yo, fuck all those other podcasts." And I said, "It's right, man. The real podcast out."
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to us watching you stream today. We're about to go stream.
Yeah. I'm gonna be streaming. I'll probably go live at 4:30.
So for early today.
What's the turbo?
Nice.
No choice. So everybody watching, head on right back to this YouTube page. I'll get the link up very shortly as soon as this is over. Hopefully it's gonna be a long one, despite it being a turbo.
It's gonna be a long turbo. I think if you make the final table, I'll call into Tuck and be like, "I want to do it, man. I want."
Thanks, I appreciate that.
I feel like you would do the same for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're gonna, if you get on stream today, and you win, and you make the final table. Let's just say you make the final table. Are you gonna wear the gold chain or what?
I don't have a gold chain.
I'm bringing one.
No.
I hope you all enjoyed the show. And like, subscribe, share. I feel like we are on the path of growth, and I feel like Google is on the way. So I'll see you all later. And for myself and Berkey, thank you for watching. Have a drink on me. Good night.
$1,000 bricks he's holding, by the way.
There they go, like a hefty bag.
He's sitting down with $250,000.
Play with Patrick all the time. Good buddy of mine. A fantastic player.
There's the potential for excitement. That's really bad news for me.
Aggressive, creative, yes, and talented players. Certainly at this table. Certainly at this table or anywhere. I like Trickett's 3-bet here with 10-8 of diamonds.
Thank you.